order, January 25th, 2024. We have citizen comment here. We have Jennifer Evans, who would like to speak on the solar eclipse for 8/24. Jennifer, welcome.
Hello. I attended a Parks and Rec board meeting and kind of gave some information about it. On Monday, April 8th, there will be a full solar eclipse that passes through our area into an hour, which means we'll see a full solar eclipse at like 1:41 to 1:44 p.m. I'm encouraging the city to do an event. I'd love to have something here at the Historical Park, but I realize that there's probably some schools that may not use that day off at that Liberty or whatever. And so, if anything, they can like get glasses to the students and stuff like that. Obviously, you can't look at this, but there's a lady that was in Brookhaven, I believe. She's an Umbraphile, which is someone that's interested in solar eclipses. And she's given a TED talk. She's written a book. She actually, I met up with her right before this. She gave me a couple of copies of her books and her eclipse glasses that she's selling. I asked her if she was interested in doing a kind of like speaking event, which would be really cool if you could do it and then stream it to all the schools at the same time, maybe before, and then get the viewers and stuff like that out afterwards, so that they can be available that day, so kids can kind of have like early dismissal or route and look at it. I went to Oregon for the one in 2017, and traffic was a nightmare. There are tons of events that are starting to get put on by other cities. As just announced one, Arlington has one with a big festival near Oregon. There's a couple other ones that have popped up, but just know that traffic on that day is going to be horrendous around that time. And so I'm kind of encouraged to do something within the limits so it doesn't affect, the citizens as much and there's a place to. So, yeah. The other thing is that the last one that came through Texas was in 1878. Wow. So 1842, 1878, kind of all around that same era. It would be really cool to have the historical park because the last time people would have gone to go see it, they would have been on covered wagons and trains to get to Texas. Cool. That information is in that book. I think like page 29. Yeah, so Letitia lives in Brookhaven, and I've sent some information to Maria Mentor, and I can forward that email to one of y'all if you can see, you can like view her TED talk. She lives locally, so I could get her to do the speech. She said she'd do it for free if y'all bought, if the city were to buy it, if we worked from her directly. I think there's going to be a run on them pretty soon, so they need to get ordered sooner rather than later. I think she said $2 or for like another week and maybe $3 in a couple of weeks from now, which is kind of if you're gonna buy them individually for the solar glasses. Yeah, I think if you buy in bulk, you get a better deal. But yeah,
Great. Thank you for the information.
Yep. Any questions? Let me know.
Do you have any questions? I know that you said the special events committee is in charge of something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the books and the viewers are what she gave me tonight for y'all to share or whatever. So please feel free to take it to the city and like let them see that too. Because I didn't have him until I had my copy that I let him borrow.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and her name's on here. Yes.
Oh, nice.
All right, moving on to agenda item 24-069. We are considering the approval of the minutes for November 16th, 2023. Take the appropriate action. The minutes are attached
To accept the minutes as posted.
Okay, Teresa, second.
Second.
Elizabeth. All right, receive an update, receive an event center update and take appropriate action.
All right. I did receive an update from Lynette Hill, who's the event center manager for venue 1842. And her notes are, we are progressing very well with the construction, both interior and exterior. We are working behind the scenes on details of the grand opening event. No date has been set at this time for the grand opening. We will be able to set the date closer to completion of construction. And then if anyone has any more specific questions, she can answer those. I did have an update that I heard this morning at Parks and Rec, the Parks and Rec Department staff meeting. Of course, you should have gotten your invitation for the April 6th Boards and Commission banquet dinner. It will be at venue 1842. So the save the date went out, and then they'll be sending the official, I'm sure, from city manager's office shortly. And then the first official rental is going to be on May 4th. It's the R.L. Turner, I believe she said 50th class reunion celebration. So that was really exciting. Yeah. So the first official will be a local group. And then just the first at all will be our boards and commissions. So that's really exciting. I did wanted to mention it. So if we want to do a group discussion or our subcommittee or whatnot to talk separately, I know there was discussion about maybe doing with the grand opening. I wanted to talk to Lynette first to see what they're planning. I know she's working with Rachel Johnson, who does all of our social media and marketing and everything. They're working with the company 101 Media to do a lot of the social media pushes and information. And I'm meeting with them next week to give more information on the historical park so they can post more about, our entire venue and everything. But to get more details on what they're planning for the grand opening, because we had mentioned before about doing something kind of as a special recognition VIP, more on for our historical park board, docents, kind of everyone through the years that helped on this vision of the event center from the 1980s on, of all the thoughts. And we did invite them all for the groundbreaking, but I thought it would be nice to also recognize that. I mean, of course, they'll be invited to the grand opening, but I wasn't sure if y'all were interested in maybe doing something else just for that, of kind of.
We would have like a pamphlet that who makes up all the people, because everyone has their little story of Farmers Branch.
Sure.
I think it'd be wonderful.
I like
have a little, we that support the historical board, or I don't know, come up with something.
Yeah.
And just, have like a page, a picture, what they do in their one paragraph, their elevator speech.
Sure. I like that.
So are you talking about, is the opening just going to be like a speech welcoming everybody, kind of like a typical one, and then open for viewing and food, or?
I'm assuming, I don't know any of the details yet. We were trying to get through the Hoya grand opening. So now that that's such a great success, if anyone attended, it was a wonderful evening. A little chilly, but we had a great turnout. Really, really nice. Now we'll be able to kind of focus on that. So I just wanted to throw it out if anyone's interested and wants to kind of help me on it. I would love any kind of help of if we want to do. I love the idea of the stories. Is there something that a pen or something that kind of distinguish been a long time supporter or something? I don't know.
That'd be really cool. A pen that we can present to everyone that they can wear, and we can say,
Something like that.
they can say, if you see somebody with a pen, they can be part of the historical park through the 80s through present. They're working to or a croissant or something.
Something, yeah. That's what I kind of was thinking. So I just wanted to throw it out. This was kind of the first opportunity, and it's coming up fast. So I was thinking about it again. So
is it something we need to do a subcommittee for, or is it something that we just volunteer
I
for?
think we just volunteer. And once I get with Lynette next week, so I can get a better vision of dates, if they know yet, and what the vision they're working on, then working with them and kind of figuring out what we want to do. But I just want to kind of throw it out to everyone. If you're interested, I'd love to have their input.
Okay. Anybody interested right now, or y'all want to think about it and get back to when we know the date? Maybe when we get the date.
Yeah, that'll
That way
work
we know
perfect. Yeah.
if everybody's available.
Alrighty.
Take a look at the bricks too.
That was one we talked about. So are you thinking like the bricks we have out here where you can, for a donation, then it's engraved with your name?
Well, that maybe were presented to certain individual docents and that sort of thing. Not just because you bought one. I wouldn't think. I don't know.
Just kind of recognizing who all has the different, because some of them are memorial bricks, some are,
Right.
each board member always gets a brick. There's all different kinds. Sure. I'm writing a note on that.
That might be a place to start.
Yeah. Well, I know we have the records of all the bricks we have. should have gotten it in your packet. So this, in the big packet,
I think it's in the back.
in the back.
With all the charts.
The memorandum.
Yes.
This?
Yes, it's that
Oh,
one.
that's
Yeah.
it, okay, thank you.
I won't go line for line verbatim. So this is our fourth quarter, but also year-end report. So this reflects October 2022 through September 2023, and then for that final quarter, July, August, September. And we were down a bit. It's not unexpected. Our overall, from the first page, our overall revenue for year-end did have about a 19% decrease, around $30,000, giving us $128,270 in revenue, overall revenue for the year. A little bit less than it was last year. Last year was record breaking on all of our revenue, so that was exciting for that year. And one of the reasons we did have a reduction in our overall revenue was primarily due to we were given direct both with here at the historical park and the Parks and Rec department in general of kind of scaling back just a bit, given direction of decreasing the number of programs and classes that we were offering. We got really excited with all of our classes and programs and wanted to offer everything, and got a little over programmed with needing to help with other events and things within the city. So we wanted to scale back just a little bit so it was a little more manageable for our small staff out here. So that's kind of the primary reason our revenue was down compared to other years, but we still had amazing sold out events. I mean, and I have them listed here from our award-winning summer camps and school tours and our Christmas teas. Those always sell out. The adult egg hunt, our cookie and decorating classes, and all of that. Our other revenue, so overall is everything from programs, rentals, and then we break it down. So our rental revenue for the fourth quarter was, well, I'll just do the overall. Overall for fiscal year 22-23 saw a little over $20,000, which was down from the previous year, but kind of on par for what we've had in the past. We saw before a big jump in small wedding rentals with the COVID pandemic, and then past that with visitation not visitation, but the number of occupancy restrictions. The smaller boutique weddings were very, very popular, and that's where we became, kind of the place to be, of having smaller rentals and in our church and here and on the grounds. With all restrictions, we've moved past all of that. People want to go back to the larger venues. So that makes it wonderful with the event center going to be done very soon. We'll be able to accommodate all of that, as well as the smaller weddings or baby showers, corporate meetings, things of that nature. So that reflects why some of the revenue is down just a little bit. There's not as many of the smaller, needing a smaller venue. But we did have 24 rentals for the year, and we did generate rooms for the hotel motel occupancy tax. So that's always our goal. Our other revenue was also on par. That's our classes and our programs and school tours and everything else with that. So overall for the year, that section was almost $109,000 in revenue that came in. For our expenses, we did have a slight increase for the last quarter, but that had to do with we completed 5 major historic structures repairs in that final quarter. So with our school tours and our programs, we have to schedule all of our repairs for certain times of the year. And it ends up the summertime is the best for our schedule, not the best for construction because of weather being so hot, but to have the different buildings so they're not off tours for what we need them for. We primarily do our large maintenance projects in the summer, so that ends up being reported in our final quarter. So with that, we had about $140,000 worth of projects that we completed in that final quarter. It consisted of a full exterior restoration on the caboose, so that one, roof repairs on all the structures. The Queen Anne porches were completely redone, which, if you remember seeing those, was in dire need. that has been on the list, full restoration on the building, but we decided to break it into parts so it was more manageable on the budget. So we did the porches first, and those have been completed, and it is night and day. As well as a full exterior restoration on the McKee addition. That's the one right, my office, but the one right across from the Gilbert House. And the interior repairs on the church. We've been having some issues with the flooring on the church with moisture. The water runoff that comes through our property kind of comes from the north, right underneath the church and the Queen Anne, through the property and right through the tree grove. So we get a lot of water when we have rains through there, and it was causing a little bit of issues. So we needed the interior of the church worked on. All that was done. We did it in the months where we had the fewest amount of rentals, so it didn't impact us the least amount possible. With that, we also had a structural engineer come out and look at both buildings, make sure everything was okay foundation-wise before repairs could start. So in summary, this past fiscal year, the Historical Park has accomplished numerous goals, and yet it has probably been one of the most challenging we've had in a while, from staffing and management changes to the new projects and priorities. We did a great job pivoting. That was my word of the year, pivoting. And reassessing our workload. Our revenue goals were all met. So even though it may not have been as high as it has in previous years, we did meet all the goals we set. We always surpass our goals, but I always like to go over. But we did meet all of those. We did scale back a bit with our programmings, and that allowed us to free up a little bit more time to work on those other projects, get those maintenance projects done, and really focus on the things we needed to focus on. So when the event center opens, I wanted all the buildings to be done and looking amazing. So we are almost there. We already went over all the revenue. Beyond the money part of it, we, of course, looking over the year, we already mentioned we had a groundbreaking and construction begin on the event center, a project that has been talked about for years and thought it was going to happen and then didn't think it was going to happen, and finally it's come to fruition. So that was something that, a lot of us weren't, with COVID and everything, weren't sure. So to have all that come to pass is very exciting for everyone. We won both regional and state awards with TRAPS, the Texas Recreation Park Society. So for our the Day of the Dead, as well as in the past, Girls Make History, we won regional awards and state awards for that. As I already mentioned, we completed 5 massive construction projects on the historic structures, and we caught up on other deferred maintenance projects. So all in all, it was a very good year, and now we're ready to move. The current year we're already moving into our second quarter, and we have our master plan about ready to go to get quotes on that so we can get that moving and see what else the future holds. So does anyone have any questions? I'll report on the first quarter of next month. Yes, Missy.
I do. So what were our revenue goals last time, and how much did we succeed that by?
We normally, I'm trying to think, our overall revenue, I'll have to go back and get the exact number. I believe we set it for around $90,000. So we came in at 128. So we still were,
Right.
well above that.
What are they this year?
The same.
The same,
Yeah.
120. So with losing the $30,000 because of less programming, how did the staff feel about the workload? Was it an ease off them? Did they feel relieved, or do you think it was worth that? I mean, what's your take? Do they want to do all these projects? Do you want to have all these? Like, where's a happy medium that's going to be okay for your staff?
I mean, we always, when we do our calendar planning, we put everything down, and because we always sit there and think, oh my gosh, this year's been so crazy. It felt like we went from event, constantly. And then when you write on the calendar, you're like, well, it doesn't seem like that much.
Mm-hmm.
And we all have so many different ideas and want to do more. So then we have a tendency to be like, oh, sure, we can have that on. I will say for this first quarter, which I'll report on next month, we did have to pivot again. So for our first quarter, we did scale back because we increased the size of our Day of the Dead celebration. It went from kind of a small, intimate to a paid to a bigger community, more people in a free event. So with that, we wanted to scale back because we knew coming up in our busiest time of the year is the fall. It starts from October on with bluegrass, and then there's just something almost every weekend and all. So fall is fall through winter is very busy for the city in general, but especially for Parks and Rec and events. And out here, most of them are here. So we knew going into it, we needed to be well prepared and getting things planned early, and we did, and it was it was a beautiful event. The other thing we did to pivot is we, for the first quarter, so this is last year, so I'm talking about now I'm talking October through December, which we'll talk next month, but to help answer your question on staffing workloads, we do our classic car show. Normally it's in November. And this year we looked at it, and with the calendar and everything else going on, I'm like, I love that event. I don't want it to go away, but I knew I don't want to kill my staff. So we decided to switch it. So we didn't have it in November. We are now going to have it in September. So it's still in this fiscal year, but we're waiting. It's going to happen before the rush of October starts. So I believe it's September 24th is when we're going to have it out here. So that was another thing we looked at. For some of our programming, are there other times of the year that might be a little bit slower or easier with everything else going on that we can switch to? And the car show was a great one to do that. We originally, the weekend we were going to do it was when Sampac Ford in Carrollton has their huge classic car show. I'm like, well, we're not going to compete there because we also want to take Gladiator's truck over there. So that's why we did the, playing the next weekend. So it's, looking at the calendar.
When is Ford? When is
theirs? I believe it's the 21st of September.
September.
I'll get the exact dates. I'll make sure it's a Saturday. So, and that's what we do. And we as a department, especially with special events, and all sit down normally in December, and we do the calendar planning for the year. So each facility says this is what we have coming up. So we can all look at, like, a great example coming up is the adult egg hunt is Friday, March 22nd out here. As y'all know, that's our biggest one we put on. The very next night, Saturday the 23rd, is the multicultural event that is also out here. So, working with special events on making sure everything is ready and set up for them, but that it doesn't impact our event the night before. So making it all a win-win for everyone. And that's what we all do, and make sure it works. That's the one kind of that is the closest. But even, this year we had our bluegrass, Friday and Saturday. And then on Sunday, Arts and Culture Committee did an event out here, the Branch Live, with all the students. And they were able to use the stage that was the acoustic stage down by Gilbert. So being able to look and see, are there ways that we can, I call it piggybacking, off one other event, use what they have and keep that momentum. Might be a little bit less hours of sleep that night, but you get more people in, and that's a win-win.
When I
So
presented this to the our bi-weekly or biannual report, and I saw that the $30,000 there, they didn't really question us on like why. So why is there so much less? So my question to you, and I guess I don't understand how it works, is if I told my boss I didn't make if we lost $30,000, I mean, I guess council, as long as we meet our goal and our budget, we're okay.
is the direction I've been given,
Okay.
because that was something I had questioned as well. We work on our budgets, and
Right.
I mean, I left a little bit, but when I looked at, so last year coming off the highest revenue we've ever made,
Yeah.
I was on a high,
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, look what we've done in the entire history, and then doing these, I'm like,
I
we're
know.
down so much, and doing the percentages. Well, I'm down 49, but
It
I
sounds
was,
so
it just knocked the wind out of me. I was like, but taking a step back, I'm like, it's not always about the revenue. I
That's
don't
what
want to
wanna
speak for anyone
understand.
else,
But
but
that's what I
yeah.
want to understand with council. Because
Yeah.
when I gave the other report that we, succeeded everything,
Sure.
and then I gave this one, and then it was 30,000. They're all looking at me.
I
Like,
know.
and I did explain
Yeah.
all the things that we talked about in this. But I just wanted to make sure that they're not going like, y'all aren't doing your job. You know what I mean?
I have not heard that because that
Nobody
was,
said it,
yeah.
but I just, as a business person in my own,
Yeah.
I came to my boss and said, why
about
Oh, I
$30,000
understand.
left.
Because I thought the same thing.
Okay, I just wanna make sure
Yeah.
we were on the same.
I'm all, we always want to do better than we did
Right,
the year before,
absolutely.
and you set a precedence, and you always want to keep
And I
above
bet
that.
we do go higher with the event center.
Oh,
I think
absolutely,
our
yeah.
numbers will go up.
And there's so many more other things that factor in just than staff time. It's also weather. Are things going to be canceled? There's so many different factors in. But
we have such a small staff and y'all work
Yes.
so hard, and I just don't want them to feel like they're so, event, that there's no work, balance in their life.
and that's what we were hoping coming up with the Parks and Rec department as a whole. But I can say out here, the last few years we've had a lot of projects on the docket. I mean, from the event center, Hoya, and then all this John Burke. There's been a lot. So a lot of those are freeing up, and I've heard the direction of let's scale back a little bit. And so, just as y'all, we're just as interested to hear the direction moving forward and getting a chance for us to catch up, but also fine tune more of our, if you're constantly going from event or program to program, you really just kind of become a machine, and you really want to customize each thing and make it the best it can be. So I think we did a great example of that this year with Day of the Dead.
Oh, yeah.
So keeping that.
Okay, go on, thank you for your explanation, yes. go ahead.
So it says here that, there were extra limb and winds as well as mowing contracts for our property and Liberty Plaza for $12,600. So
Yes.
is Liberty Plaza part of the historical park?
It is a historical park property, yes. Are you in
Not know
expenses?
Yeah, I know.
Yes. So
Okay.
Liberty Plaza is technically our property as well. So we under our it's mainly over there since it's a park and a memorial. It's under our grounds budget. We pull out a certain amount and kind of set that aside specifically for Liberty Plaza. So for the grounds upkeep, the mowing, as well as the American flag, replacing when it needs to be done, and lighting.
Because I know over there they had a lot of theft with all those brass plates. So did the historical park have to pay for those too?
I didn't hear anything about that particularly. All I've ever heard is the mowing and the grounds maintenance of that, and the flag, and the lights when they replace the lighting.
Yeah, I never quite understood. Do we manage it or do we just?
It just comes out of our budget. Yeah, parks. The parks department takes care of that area, and it comes out of our budget.
Thank you for that clarification.
Sure.
Okay, moving on to 24-072, receive an update on historical park current projects, events, and upcoming activities.
Alrighty, there's a bunch. You'll have in your packets our regular old calendar. So we have what's coming up. I won't go through all of these. The Mad Hatter Tea, Archella, summer camps, Girls Make History. See, I made a list here. Let me back up. I do have, and I'll pass this around, for our starting 2024, our updated board calendar and contact list. So this has all of our meeting dates, as well as in the middle, the board chair meetings and council presentations. So there has been a few changes. I know we talked about, I think back in November, but we haven't met since then. The council changed where instead of the monthly board chair meetings, they're doing it twice a year, and a meeting that's in the evening. So those dates are listed, as well as we used to do a biannual update to council where Missy would go and present, and twice a year we would do that. Now it's just once a year, and all of the boards are done between two different meetings, and ours is in November, and it's November 12th, and it's listed on here. So those are the two main changes for the monthly board chair meeting luncheon, and then the biannual update is now to once a year. And then, of course, the boards and commission listed here, and then everyone's contact. So if you would like to take one and pass it, that's updated. Double check it, make sure I didn't miss anything, if anything needs to be changed. Other updates, we've had a few more staff changes with the city. So, which one do I start with? if y'all heard Mike Mashburn, who used to be the director of the Parks and Rec department, he was the deputy city manager. He has left the city and is now the city manager for the city of Princeton. So I think his last official day was Sunday, but made it through Hoya grand opening because that Hoya was kind of his baby of the concept and everything. So Mike has moved on to the city of Princeton. The last meeting I reported that Carrie Phillips in our department, Parks and Rec, was named as the new Parks and Rec director, so Mike's old position. Well, Carrie has put in his retirement, so his last day is he's in next week, and then he's out, and his last official, I think, is February 22nd. So he, if y'all been involved with Parks and Rec for a long time, you may know his wife, Wimberly Phillips. She used to be the superintendent, sort of at the rec center and superintendent. So now they're both going to get to retire and enjoy that and grandbabies and all of that. So, as well as
They have a replacement.
we do have a replacement. I'm getting all that. Where'd that sheet go? Robert Diaz. So he worked for the city of Farmers Branch years ago in the Parks and Rec department. He was at the rec center and helped with programming. I had a meeting with him earlier today. Lovely, lovely man. He was at the city of Wiley for years, worked his way through the Parks and Rec department, ended up being the director of Parks and Rec over there. Came back to the city of Farmers Branch about a year ago, and make sure I say these right. He was in the Robert Diaz. He was in Public Works, and so when the Parks and Rec position, he applied, and so he was just named as our new director. He was in today. They're getting all the transition, so I think he officially next week. Or the week after, but he will be the new Parks and Rec director, and so coming back, not only back to Farmers Branch because he's been here for a year, but back to the department he started with. So we're very, very excited about that. And then the other change is Maria Mentor. If y'all know her, she used to be the manager at the rec center, and then came to City Hall and was the recreation superintendent. She has put in a transfer, and she is still staying with the city of Farmers Branch because we wouldn't let her go. She is moving over to Public Works, and she is going to be the managing superintendent over there. So that position will be opened if people are interested in applying for. So, yeah, a few more changes. So we're very excited for everyone, and happy for retirements and excited for Maria and all. She will be helping with, I think she said, the trails, and there's going to be a lot of crossover. So we're really excited for her. And Maria has always worked for the city of Farmers Branch in the Parks and Rec department. So this will be a new thing, and she's excited about it. And we're just so glad she's still going to be here with the city and get to see her.
Can I ask, what function does the rec superintendent?
The recreation superintendent, they are over the facilities. So our department is kind of split. There's the park side and then the recreation side. So the superintendent is over the historical park, aquatic center, rec center, and the branch connection. I think that's all the staffing. Let's see.
For
Activities. We had our Christmas celebrations, and everything was absolutely amazing. I was so excited when it wasn't tree lighting, but the Christmas celebration was out here. We had great turnout. Our exhibits and everything, our celebration of Christmas traditions around the world. With that event, the Friends group sold popcorn, and they raised $393 in the popcorn sales and $29 with donations. So that goes back to their fund, and then we applied for grant funding and all through them for our needs. So that was really great. Our Christmas teas completely sold out. They were absolutely fabulous. We partnered with the Colstrip Cup business here in Farmers Branch, and they donated all of the tea that was served, as well as the gift baskets that were given to all the guests. So yeah, they're so generous, such a wonderful company. We had our exhibit tours were all sold out, and then this kind of came about very quickly. So not as much advertising was done this year. That's going to happen this upcoming, but at the November meeting, Anne had mentioned to the board about the organization Wreaths Across America, that they on December 16th, I think it's the same date, December 16th every year. It is Wreaths Across America. It's an organization that recognizes all the branches of service by placing remembrance wreaths at Arlington National Cemetery and over 4,000 cemeteries across the U.S. So all veterans' graves. So Anne had asked or presented to the board, would this be something that we would be interested in doing for Keenan Cemetery? The people donate, and whenever you donate money for a wreath, another one is purchased. And all of the 4,000 cemeteries, the whole idea is to be able to place wreaths on every veteran's grave. So we all agreed this was a fabulous idea. The plan was to do it for December 2024. She submitted the paperwork, and they were able to process it for this year. So we found out about 2 days beforehand that we received 36 wreaths. That wasn't enough for all the veterans, but it was a great start. So on December 16th, Anne organized everything, and because the event is the same time around the country, there is a very specific ceremony that takes place and all. So she organized that. As y'all know, she is a veteran. Both her and her husband are veterans. And there was a really great turnout. The Boy Scouts came and helped. They placed the wreaths. There was a lovely woman that came, and her father's buried there, and she was able to place the wreath. And we had a bunch of other organizations that want to help next year. So the goal is to have a wreath for every, I believe there's 114 veterans' graves. So we'll have a wreath for each for next year represented. So we did get pictures and everything. So it was a great Christmas surprise that we made it in this year. Other than that, the Historical Park has won the DFW Directors Award for Arts and Entertainment. The DFW Directors is a Parks and Rec organization for directors in this area, and we won for the Mad Hatter Tea. We submitted. So tomorrow we go and receive our award. It's taking place in Allen. We've won, and then the Parks and Rec Department has won for the design with the John Burke Nature Preserve. That one, as well as Volunteer of the Year with the Branch Connection for, I think she knows about it, Deborah Hull. So they will be recognized tomorrow as well. So we're going to go pick up our award, and we're very excited to get that. So with that, Mad Hatter Tea is coming up. If you haven't gotten your tickets, you better do.
It's two. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't think there's not much left. We will of course have the 2 seatings of the tea, and then this year is an added surprise. I will get it all done. I'm doing an Alice in Wonderland exhibit in the Queen Anne. So imagine you walk through the door, you go through a rabbit hole, and you're transported to Wonderland. In each room of the house will be a different part of the story. So we'll have that up, and so
You've been wanting to do that.
I've been wanting to do this for a long time, yes. So I've gotten the stuff, now it's just making everything. So if anyone is crafty and would like to help me create a whole bunch of things, let me know, because that's what I'm working on, but it'll be fabulous. And we'll keep it up probably through the summer. I know we decided for Mums and Sons this year, it's going to be an Alice in Wonderland theme, so it will be up for that as well. Going back, the Witness to History Award, as it was mentioned, it will be at the February 20th City Council meeting. I've already put it through Granicus and everything, so it will be on the agenda, and that is for Frances Glancy, is who the board.
Very nervous about it.
Oh, it's going to be fabulous. We will and I have her application and everything we submitted, so the whole packet, and I'm so excited that she's receiving this. So that'll be Tuesday, February 20th. At that meeting, as well as that same meeting, we will get recognized from council for the Mad Hatter Award from DFW directors. So it'll be, I wanted to keep it the same night, so it'll be a historical park night on the 20th. So if you're able to make it, we would
Now, I know
love
that
it.
they just do the award and then beginning of the
Yes.
meeting. I mean, I would do a sheet cake for her if we want to do that.
I did ask because I remember last time we were talking about it about something in the lobby
Mhm.
with the construction. If y'all haven't been in City Hall, the whole front lobby is gutted. It's going to look fabulous. I'm not sure the completion date, so I was thinking that's a fab. If we wanted to do something like that, which I think is fabulous, what about having it back here? So like after we do because the Witness to History Award and the DFW, that's all the first part under the ceremonial items, so it would be done very, relatively quickly. And then if we wanted to have something set up here and invite everyone back, if y'all don't like that idea, I can try to see if there's another area, but did check with the construction, but just to know when things would be completed, and I didn't.
What if
They
we
want
just did
last
the
minute changes.
elevator in that little hallway up, like going back to that boardroom that we have our meetings back there? You know?
I think you'll lose an awful lot in transit
Transit.
over here.
Yeah, that's a pretty big space. Like
That hallway,
Let me check. I know they use upstairs with study session. Let me get with city manager's office and see what's available, and I will.
I mean, I'll be
Find
willing to do the cake.
Okay.
I'll do whatever.
Okay.
I mean, what do y'all ever think is the table with the cake and like,
Yeah.
so you could put up a poppy table. I mean, half of the lobby is taken up, the other half is for.
I just know we would need an area that is more secure, just because it gets very loud very easily in the lobby and the atrium and everything. So.
Could we do the cake before the meeting? I mean,
What if we did just a bunch of cupcakes on a little,
yeah, they could take them there.
take them and.
Let me find out what's available and make sure that, because when I asked about it before, that was the thought was, oh, we could do it out here. But let me find out more, and I will definitely follow back up because I think it's a great idea.
They got one blown.
Are you done?
I got one more thing.
Okay.
I already told you about Mad Hatter Tea. That one's on the first Saturday in March. And then the adult egg hunt's going to be here before we know it. Friday, March 22nd. So not far. I do have a volunteer sign up sheet. If you're interested and available, we would be thrilled to have your help. I will pass this around. It has all the stations, same as previous years. It's going to be the same setup as last year, so more condensed, kind of north of the pathway, and it worked so well. But we'll have the food stations and, of course, the photo ops with our Easter Bunny and his new outfit and everything. It looks fabulous.
So March 22nd, Friday.
It's a Friday night, yes. And then, or if you're interested in helping getting donations as the prizes, we still need a lot of help with those. So I am looking for any kind of help whatsoever with it.
Where's the registration check-in? Is it? Where is
It will
that?
be down here.
Where the Day of the Dead was?
Yes,
That area?
that
Okay.
exact. They'll be coming in the Ford Road gate, the one off the main pathway.
Okay.
Because we're going to keep, just as last year, everything from the main pathway north. Because for the multicultural event, I think they're going to use more of the meadow. And so we want to make sure they have plenty of room and so we came in the Ford Road gate last year for attendees and that worked perfect.
But is the check-in, it's not taking money or anything, is it?
No, all tickets will be sold in advance. So it's just checking off names and then
Is there an RSVP list? Or what?
there will be a registration
A
list.
registration
Yeah.
list. Oh,
And then
okay.
each guest, there's a packet of things that they get. Their egg carton, their poker chip that is for their food and drink. So each person gets a packet that has to be given to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll have staff there to help. So I didn't put it on there because we always do it like beforehand, like hide the eggs. But mainly, we do the redemption tables and that worked well. But like the fire pit area or helping with the food, things of that nature. I'm pretty sure I already have the Easter Bunny helper already assigned. She always loves doing it.
Do you have a letter to request donations, like if I want
Yes,
to
yeah.
send a donation, something like that?
Yeah, I can send that to you.
Okay.
Go ahead and send
Send
me one.
everyone.
Sure.
Me too. Just all of us,
You got it.
please.
And I believe that was the last on my update list.
Okay, moving right along to item 24 24-073. We are going to receive an update from board members on parks, programs, events, and facilities attended in the city of Farmers Branch. Anybody would like to speak?
The historical park in Don's house is now the Mahjong maiden capital on Wednesday and Monday afternoons, and it worked great. Everyone loved it.
Where is
Good.
that?
They play in here in the room. Yeah,
Very good.
and it has sparked so many questions and emails and texts going, oh,
I just started learning how to play, so it's been fun.
Well, no, not about that, about the park and
Oh.
the venue. and-
Good,
Yes, oh my
good.
gosh. And because they came in and said, oh, you can go to the store. Well, where's the store? And all kinds of questions. And where's Mr. Gray? And who's Mr. Gray?
So I attended a meeting that the mayor has with the boards of all the parks, all the boards in Farmers Branch, and they give an update of what's going on. I just want to let you know, other boards working hard, there's a lot on the agenda going through Farmers Branch, anywhere from the library, they're, I think they probably have just as many activities going on as we did Parks and Recs, with the closing of the center, the reconstruction of the, what is it, the senior center?
The branch connection, yeah.
So we talked about that and different, they're looking for different facilities to have different things for the seniors, because they don't want them to lose contact with each other, because it's really important. And I gave my spiel of what all this, but just to let you know, everybody's working hard. He didn't say anything about combining the boards yet. I don't think that discussion's over.
No.
But I don't know. He didn't come out and say yes or no, but, we're just gonna keep on going how we are now until we decide otherwise. So, I can't give you
Fine.
I did attend the Christmas in the park in Denton.
Mhm.
Ours is so much better. They do have 3 historical buildings. They do have a docent at each building, and that's about it.
Nice.
We just have, I asked if there was a booklet, if there's any pamphlets. They said this is what we know, and that's pretty much it. You could walk kind of at the doorway and look in. It's not no touch and feel. Ours is so much better. And then I attended one the next week up in Northwest Arkansas, which I thought would be very historical. They had really old buildings. They had lots of information. They had lots of labels on everything.
Mhm.
But again, they don't have staff and a store and books to tell you anything. It's just kind of, yes, we go to class for 8 weeks. This is what we know. So I was very impressed with ours.
So ours is better?
Ours is
All right.
so much better.
Did anybody go to the park opening? Anybody else?
Boy, yeah.
When I drove, I got bronchitis too, but I drove by and I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, there's too many people.
That was me
too. There's no parking
find a
anywhere.
Yeah, I got there early.
Up and down the river, there wasn't any parking.
Yeah,
It was nice to see so many people. though.
Yeah.
yeah.
The videos were really nice.
Yeah, I believe they did. Rachel Johnson was talking about this morning at staff meeting. They took drone video, and I know they're going to be posting a lot of that. And I didn't hear an actual head count, but I know my fiance and I and nephew got there. We got there early because I wanted to find a parking spot, and it was already a lot of people and kids playing and all. And then as it got closer to the actual speeches and then the lighting up, it was very very well attended. And even though it was cold,
It was really cool.
I didn't think it was too bad. Maybe that was just we were just excited about everything. But yeah, it was a great night to have it open and all great coverage throughout the state. There were people that came up from San Antonio and Houston.
Oh.
A couple of our I know Paul at the Aquatic Center, he is away at a conference right now. Maria's at a conference today and tomorrow. Paul was saying that people were asking him about it. And so people are talking about it in not just in the Parks and Rec field, but all over. And so it's kind of exciting that it's bringing more recognition
It
and
was full
attention.
when I drove by to come to the meeting. Oh, so yeah, it was full.
Yeah.
Okay, so next one is we're going to discuss any items for the future historical preservation and restoration board meeting. What would y'all like to be on the agenda? If anything. I would like to see if we can get a tour of, or a walkthrough of the building,
Oh, yeah, that'd be
of the venue.
Good idea.
I mean, I've had a few people ask me, how much are they charging for the new venue? And I'm like, I don't know.
It's up.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
So council did approve the schedule fee and Van was asking as well. So every year, so each facility, we have what our user fee. So that's your membership fee, like the rec center or aquatic center or whatnot. And also what we charge for rentals. Every year council reviews that and makes adjustments. So they've already, I don't remember off the top of my head what it is, but I know they've already set that schedule when they approved the name and it was all kind of with that. But it can be reviewed in the future. And I know they've been working with the website and posting a lot. So I believe all of that is on the website because I know you can already start booking and all. So it should all be posted on there. If you can't find it, let me know and I'll check with Lynette and Rachel.
Their Instagram is that too.
Mhm.
One
Yeah,
thing
okay,
I
yeah.
suggested that they put more prominent on the website is why 1842. So I think they're gonna update that on the website.
And I think that's why I know the company they're working with, Media 101, that was another thing of why they want to come out. They're going to do a walkthrough as well to get more interior shots so they can advertise that, but then also get more information about the historical park, our history, so that we can get that out on the website
So we
as
can
well.
tell a
So-
story.
Well, that's.
Exactly, yeah.
A shorter course, that's
What,
Oh, 1870.
what.
It was the
But you
lead
said
rats.
1842.
when the
and
Parks and
1878.
Rec, they have an event
1842
at
is
the
the
venue,
1870 is the-
did they have to pay the fee?
I'm sorry, say that again.
So like
When
when the Parks and Recs has a venue or the event special committee has something and they're using the facility, do they have to pay the fee? Or does that just go like because we're Farmers Branch or you know?
you mean if the city has an event in there, I've not heard that they have to pay that.
Well,
I
mean,
can
like,
find
even
out.
our party is gonna be in it, right?
Yes.
So they would probably have to pay a rental fee somewhere else if they had it. So does that, do we get revenue from it?
That's a really good question. I know in the past when the board and commission like used to be over at the Branch Connection. I know the times I've been, and I do not believe there was a fee charge. Now last year we were over at the Renaissance, so of course that's a completely separate, and they had to pay for that. Let me find out. I
Just
haven't
because
heard
it's a-
that, but
You know, it takes the day off. I don't care, but I just would like.
I mean, we're not being charged to even do it right now.
Right.
I was gonna say I
It
think
doesn't
since it's
seem
a
like we
city of
should
Mhm.
charge
a city
them.
venue
Mhm.
and the city's using it, I don't
Yeah.
believe so, but
That's fine.
I will.
No, I think
Get
it's a great
clarification, yeah.
benefit for Farmers Branch to have it.
I mean, I know
So it
like
saves the city money instead
Sure.
of having to outsource something else.
I mean, I
I'm
know
curious
when
to
we
see.
have bluegrass or Independence Day out here, we don't have a rental fee with that. You know, and it's a city property for a city
I'm
event.
just curious.
I will.
Because we have to
confirm.
pay back money, so, you know, we have to pay back money to the.
Well, and they have their own budget. Their money is for the event center. They have their own separate revenue and
Right, they
goals
still
and
have to
everything.
pay that.
Do
Correct.
we have a lot of rentals?
We have gotten some. I don't have the full list, but I do know there's quite a few that have already been booking. So yeah, we're starting to. That's
I'm
exciting.
attending a wedding reception here September the 2nd.
Nice. Okay.
A former student who.
Yeah.
student who-
I know the official first thing besides boards and commission is the one on that May 4th, the RL Turner reunion. But I do know they've booked weddings. I just don't know all the particulars of them.
All right, we are adjourning the meeting.
Man,
Yes.
I'm sorry, in the minutes, I was here for the November meeting and it shows me absent. We met in the church.
here too, was I not?
We met in the church and I remember we had dinner and I remember thinking, oh, last year they did like a Thanksgiving dinner.
And I was here too, or it was, it was cold.
And I'm being shown as absent. And then also in the 23-16, I actually voted.
Yeah. I show for November 2023, the only person missing was Missy.
Ms. May.
Oh, because here it says absent, alternate Elizabeth Villafranca for the,
No.
am I confused?
But you show me on, you mean, as a list, right?
As attending, yeah, I've got you marked off as a
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
So that I was kind of confused about that too.
For November 16th.
You're looking at the minutes. And
Yeah, where is that?
I remember you.
Page-
Yeah, I was here.
page two.
I'm sure it's a typo because down below it shows actually that I voted in favor of something.
Let me
It's
make-
hard to vote.
We can adjust.
I don't get that.
So which, are you looking under the very top part where, yes, it says absent? Okay, so you were here,
I
but
was
Missy
here.
was not.
Yeah, but if you go down and
Oh.
look under agenda items, it says consider improved minutes for October 25th, and it shows that I was
Mrs.
absent there, but I was there. I only missed that November meeting.
You missed the November.
Oh, and it's saying you missed October?
Yeah, saying I missed October.
No, you were here for October. October,
October was
Van
on a
missed
weird
and
day.
Elizabeth missed.
Yeah, because it was
But
on a
that was
Wednesday.
October.
I
Yeah.
remember in
Okay.
October.
Well, it doesn't it say that there? Or is it-
Consider approve. No, this is it's asking consider approving the October minutes, and y'all approved for November, and you were absent in November.
Right, okay.
But you were here in
No.
yeah. This is
I was here.
that part's correct, but the
Okay.
top
It was me that was absent.
is incorrect. Elizabeth was here,
Yes.
but Missy. So we need to
Thank you.
adjust
Sorry
this.
about
Okay.
that.
Well, because
Thank-
I
I'm
saw
so-
my name as absent down there, so I figured that was correct, but it's not.
I read through these, but I did not see that one either. So let me see. Absent.
I mean, I don't.
So on the, when it says I, that is should be everybody on the committee or not?
That is you. It's like yes and no.
Oh.
I agree. Or so.
Right, but all the members would be ayes?
Yes,
Yes,
everyone
right.
that voted. Correct.
Right.
So that's
And
one,
the kind of
two,
stuff that I
three.
got- my name's not there, but if that's not a big deal, then that's fine.
Okay, at 7:27, like to have a
No,
motion
you're a
to
full member,
adjourn
right?
the meeting.
I'm a voting member. Yes.
I will move to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, second? I'll second.
And do we need to probably say that Elizabeth is voting for Anne this time in the minutes? So we don't have that list.
Mhm.
Hillary on
There
this
was
Just
no
trying to
voting.
help you out.
There was no voting, but still, we have
Well,
to be
yeah,
recognized.
yeah.
So is it we are officially
Over.